Namaste, welcome to Green Living Path. I'm our yogi. This is really dear to my heart. The new world, the fifth 5D dimension. How to transition from 3D into the fifth dimension. The main thing is that it's about defragging our programming, guys. What's been happening is even listening to the news is connecting us to the old paradigm of our bottom three chakras in fear and anxiety. And by doing that, we're in a lower 3D, but very heavy three-dimensional world where we're looking externally for solutions to our problems, thinking that if we just work harder or just try physically more and more and more and more and collect more physical objects, we'll be happier. But actually the converse is actually true. In Hopi prophecies, it talks about the two paths, the spiritual path and the materialistic path. And the light-skinned people, it talks about, have the choice. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to transition from the third dimension into the fifth dimension, the new earth, which Eckhart Tolle talks about. Guys, it's really important. He's talking about how by resonating and alignment, your passion, your job, you're actually doing something that you truly love, then you're actually living in alignment. Also, Dolores Cannon talks about that, and she talks about that in the Revelations as well in the Bible. So these two people are front runners along with the indigenous tribes that know about the prophecy. Now the main thing is defragging your programming, guys, is really important, and living in harmony is really key. It's crazy, it's so easy for our ego in the 3D wants to constantly create separation, and by listening to the news, getting involved, and even conspiracies, and I've fallen for that as well, what's happening is you're feeding that. It's like the two wolves. And there's a Native American elder, a big chief, a very wise elder, and he's got his little grandson beside him. And these two dualistic wolves. One's white, powerful, loving, truthful, peace, harmony. One's black, deep, dark, angry, fearful. And the little grandson of the great chief looks up to his grandfather as he's telling the story and says, which wolf will win? And the grandfather looks down at his son and says, whichever one you feed. So that's the first thing to remember in transitioning from the old earth into the new earth, is basically cutting out things in your life that are perpetuating the paradigm that is keeping you in the three different dimensions. I mean, the three lower chakras, guys. That's really important. So the news, eating, keeping away from negative talk, and what you want to do on the other side of that, the old earth, you want to actually look at things in oneness, eating high vibrational food, doing meditation, things like that actually help lift your vibration and help you align with the earth. Because what's happening is the earth itself is now raising its vibration and transitioning from the 3D into the 5D vibration. And by what we want to do is it's always helping us with food, providing food for us. We want to align with that energy by actually using meditation and using our opening up our inner self to live in a higher 5D dimensional space. It's also letting go of the old paradigm, which is hard to do. It's judging others, looking at differences in others, looking at material things as they're superior than me because I've got this. What you want to do is let go and realize that you're an infinite being and see the oneness in them and bless them that they've got abundance. So nothing wrong with abundance, and not judging other people. That's a big one to actually transcend and move into the fifth dimension, the new earth. Letting go of that, seeing the oneness in things, the beauty in things, the harmony in things, on a daily basis, doing your practices, doing your being positive, and actually even visualizing yourself moving from the 3D reality into the 5D reality. So it can be a gradual process. It's something that requires patience and determination, because the actual field, the whole human consciousness field, is predominantly still sitting in fear and lack and anxiety and things like that. So what you're doing is standing up and actually lifting the vibration, having an effect on the field, on the quantum field that exists and permeates all things, which is actually connected to human consciousness and actually connected to the earth. So by standing up and elevating your vibration, you're actually having a positive and loving and peaceful effect. So what it's actually about, it's about your inner self aligning with love, peace, harmony, and oneness. No separation between, you see all beings as one, you see all things as one. And then what happens is you naturally start vibrating higher and higher and higher up into the transition into the fifth dimension. You're no longer caught up in the whirlpool of getting worried about what other people think or talking about somebody else. You're more interested in the spiritual path, about the two paths the indigenous tribes talk about, the rainbow tribe, which rises up and helps heals the earth from all the four corners. It's like a whirling rainbow. And they prophesied this to happen, because at the moment we're in the Kali Yuga and we're on the upswing. So we're going into a higher vibrational time, and what happens is there's the two railway tracks which a professor has formulated, is that there's the two parallel 3D and the new earth, and what happens as they start off the same, but as they go further and further they divide, guys, and you get further apart. So there will be a separation. There will be challenging times coming in, which is basically it's like a building site, guys. To actually build the new structure, they've had to demolish the old structure, which is the 3D world, and then they've had to build a new pristine structure, say from carbon based to more crystalline based energy. And you can be part of that new building and creating that new structure that it creates the green earth, the 5D earth, where we all live in peace, harmony, the children be looked after. We're no longer looking at things as separate. We're not looking at wars, we're looking at oneness. We're looking at how can we help each other grow as one big family in consciousness. So that's been the key essence in a nutshell of how to transition from 3D into the fifth 5D the new earth, which Eckhart Tolle talks. And Dolores Cannon talks about letting go, I'm paraphrasing here, letting go of old paradigms that are no longer serving you. You might have to let go of people that are no longer serving you, that are negative towards you, that are not understanding that you're moving into the fifth dimension. It doesn't mean that you're better than them or higher or lower than them. It just means their lack of understanding about that particular thing, they're just a little bit stuck. And eventually, Great Spirit willing, they'll come up and they'll see what you're doing. But sometimes you have to let people go. Sometimes you might be deeply inclined, like me, to move out to the wild west coast by the beach and live in bush and waterfalls, surfing, doing meditation and yoga. You're tuning into that. You're no longer interested in the city so much, and you're no longer interested in that whole paradigm. It's letting go of things that are no longer serving you to reach your highest potential. And what will happen in the future is more and more people, because of we're looking at green planet and looking after the planet, it's actually opening the heart chakra, and people are generally, especially the young in schools, are learning about how to help the planet, not so much CO2 and stuff like that being produced, living more green, which actually is more in harmony and alignment with the new earth. So there's a whole new generation of people coming through that are rising up, which is in the Hopi prophecy of the rainbow tribe rising up to heal the earth, guys. So this is kind of really important nowadays, particularly with there's a lot of people that are in the 3D that want to perpetuate the old paradigm to keep people in control. And what you want to do is remember the two wolves, whichever one you feed, it lives. So don't feed the old paradigm. Keep growing, keep meditating, keep your affirmations, keep eating clean, hanging out with people that inspire you and you resonate with. It's about resonance. You're no longer resonating with the 3D, you're resonating with the higher vibration, which is in alignment with the earth, which is a conscious vibration, the planet. Everything is energy, so energy can't be destroyed, it is merely transformed. And our objective, I believe, in this lifetime is to transform and transcend and constantly grow in a spiral, almost like the twirling rainbow that the prophecy actually talks about, the whirling rainbow. And we actually are constantly moving on up each day, little bit by little bit, or big quantum jumps too you can do. So it's something that's quite dear to my heart. And the Green Living Path is actually saying live green, live in harmony, live in peace with all beings, with yourself, and with the Great Spirit, guys. So I really hope this helped. It's lovely to see you all. Thumbs up, tab subscribe. It's awesome to have you all here. Lots of love. Namaste.